the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really sucking the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the NETS Mets from New York. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where do they go? To meet the Mets! Oh, they're hollering, they're cheering, and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets! All the fans are true to the orange and blue. So hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball from the Mets of New York town. Give them a yell! Give them a hand! And let them know you're rooting and you stand. Come on and meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really sucking the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the NETS Mets of New York. Of New York.
Hey, good morning, folks. This is CP Cards and Dice, and I'm playing Game 4 of our 2019 Mets season replay using Deep Drive Baseball. And it was Julio Teheran, but he's going to be replaced by Johnny Venters. Johnny Venters is a lefty specialist who, in Deep Drive Baseball against lefties, will have a pretty decent advantage. So we're doing that. So we're going to replace Teheran, who's pitched masterfully up to this point. Let's look for Venters here. Johnny Venters eventually moves to Washington. But for now, he's playing with the Braves. And he's going to be facing Robbie Cano, Michael Conforto, and Wilson Ramos. So that's why he's in there as a lefty specialist. Two lefty Mets are coming up in the heart of the order. Now, the score is 1-0. We're in the top of the 8th. I was half asleep when I started this game, so I didn't want to go live. But I'm a little bit more awake now and just hanging before I go out to the gym. And it's 1-0. DeGrom is on the losing end, and it was an interesting cutoff play that allowed the only run of the game to score in the bottom of the 4th inning when Freddie Freeman came around to score, and it was a throw from Conforto that got cut off by Cano, and I believe it was Albies or Donaldson who they threw out. Let me check real quick here. Let me undo that. Let me pull up 4th inning. Let me see. This is the Mets. Is this the Mets? Yeah, this is the Mets. Redo. Wait a second. No, this should be the Mets now. All right. So if I undo, it'll take me back one. No, undo. There, DeGrom. All right. And let me see the 4th inning exactly. Yeah, it was. It was Ender Inciarte who got picked up the RBI, but also was tagged out by the shortstop. But that allowed the single. He singled, and then he got caught in a rundown, and but that allowed the run to score in the 4th inning. And that's our only run of the game. So it's Robbie Cano facing Johnny Venters. Johnny Venters is spelled Jonny. Venters had a 12 ERA in 12 games. So not very effective. But they were pitching him here early in the game, and he's in there because he's a lefty specialist. That's the only reason. See what happens. All right, so the way you play deep drive baseball is you read the red, then the white, and then this is the mod die. This will tell you the type of out. If there's an out, it'll tell you what kind of an out it is, or it'll give you the ballpark number. You know, depends on what you need. But you roll the 3 dice. When I started playing, rolling just the 2 dice so I can just focus. But now I feel more comfortable, so now I'm rolling all 3 dice. Now the way deep drive works is I'm gonna pull this up just a little bit to get a little bit farther angle on this, so we can get more stuff into the. There we go. All right, so as I was saying, you read 0 to 49 off the batter card. It's a 50-50 system, and you read 50 to 99 off of the pitcher's card. Then there's a deep drive section here that it could be a fly out or a home run or a triple or a double. That makes it real interesting when you roll 0 to 6 deep drive. Now, 90% of everything is off the cards. I've only had to use the chart 3 or 4 times throughout the whole game, throughout the whole 8 innings that I pitched. And that's it. So that's pretty much, I gave you the basics of deep drive baseball. We're going to move on. Here goes. So it's a 48. That's going to come off Cano's card. That's going to be an out, a 9. What kind of out is that? That's a fly ball center field. And Ender Enciarte is out there. He makes the catch. 1 away. Next is Michael Conforto, left-handed batter. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out, struck out, and walked. And that's a 56. A 56 is going to be a line drive base hit center field for Conforto. So the tying run is on base, and the go-ahead run is at the plate. And in steps Wilson Ramos, and he's a right-handed batter, so that's going to be all. That's going to be all for Johnny Venters. We're going to bring in Wes Parsons. Let me take a quick peek at who pitched in this game. For the Braves. Oh, Jesse. We're going to bring in Jesse Biddle. I'm going to bring in Jesse Biddle instead of Wes Parsons. There he is. Jesse Biddle eventually went to Texas. He was 0-1 with an 8.36 ERA in 30 games. So, wow, there's some nasty-looking ERAs in 2019. I'm playing the 2019 season. Holy smokes. All right. So we're going to bring in Biddle. Let's see if we have him in there somewhere. And I don't think we do. I think this is the first appearance. This is the second time we played the Braves. I have most of the guys in there, but I don't know that Biddle is in there. So I have to write him in, but it's really quick. I mean, this is iScore. I use iScore on a 9. He's also a lefty, so we got to make him a lefty as well. Throws lefty. So this is a 9.8-inch iPad, and I'm using the free app called iScore. Highly recommended. All right, Jesse Biddle is in there. But he's a lefty. What do I want? I'm taking him out. Wait a second. I'm sorry. Let's go to righty. I need a righty. Who's my righty? Oh, Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson pitched in this game as well. He may be a... But Luke Jackson... Yeah, I'm going to bring in Luke Jackson. He's a righty. All right. Oh, that's Alec Jackson. That's not it. Luke Jackson. Or did I make him Alex Jackson? Yeah, I made him an Alex Jackson. I don't know why I did that. That's funny. Oh, wait, no, they have an Alex Jackson who's a catcher. That's right. So there's an Alex Jackson who's a Luke Jackson. Found him. Boom. All right. So Luke Jackson's going to face Ramos with we're in the top of the 8th. There's 1 out, and the tying run is on first. So we've got to watch out for the wild pitch now. If we roll 0 to 0-5, it's going to wild pitch, and I roll a 53. Nope, it's a 50. Excuse me, 50 off Luke Jackson's card is a deep drive. A deep drive could give us a 2-run shot. Let's see what happens here. So we're going to have to roll 3 dice, and it's a 0-0, and that's going to mean a deep drive, but there's a big but. It has a symbol, an insignia, and that takes us to the ballpark. And SunTrust, we are in SunTrust Park, and with the 6 mod die, you can see that there. The 6 mod die is a deep fly ball to center field. Back goes Inciarte to the wall, to the track, makes the catch. 2 outs. So Ramos gave it a ride, but it was caught at the track by Ender Inciarte. That got a great jump on that ball. Saw it right off the bat. And now it's Jeff McNeil, left-hander. So we are going to bring in Jesse Biddle now to face the left-hander. So we bring in Biddle, and this is how quickly you can make these pitching changes once you got everything in the game done. So Biddle is going to face the lefty McNeil. And here goes. And that's going to be a 10 off McNeil, and that's going to be a single plus. So that's going to allow Conforto to hustle over to third base. We got first and third now. So McNeil's on at first. Oh, wait a second. I had lefty. He's not a specialist. Darn it. All right. Didn't notice that. All right. Now let's go back to we're going to leave Biddle in there to face Rosario. All right, here goes. First and third, 2 outs, top of the 8th. Mets are down by a run. And that's going to be a 13, and that may be a single base hit. The game is tied. Ahmed Rosario ties the ball game with a ground ball up the middle for a single. And stopping at second is going to be McNeil. Let me see. McNeil is, McNeil is, what kind of speed is McNeil? Because speed has to do a lot with what's going on. He's average, so he would go up 1, but that's still not enough. That'll give me a question mark. I don't want to go to third right now. I'd rather have J.D. Davis up. So we're going to bring in another pitcher for the Braves. Let's go back a game to see who we bring. Previous game. We could bring in Touki Toussaint. Touki Toussaint is going to face J.D. Davis. And in the pitcher spot, Touki Toussaint. Let's bring him in. Let's find him. He pitched in yesterday's game. Sabathia also pitched in yesterday's game. All right, here's another pitcher for – this is like their third, fourth pitching change in this inning. Touki Toussaint. All right, against J.D. Davis. First and second, the game is tied at 1 apiece thanks to Ahmed Rosario. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. And that's going to be a 0-9, and that's going to be a base hit single with McNeil on at first. At second. McNeil at second. And he's average, but he's going to have a question mark. We're going to have a play at the plate. We're going to try to score McNeil here in the top of the 8th. Let's do that. That's going to be a single. Going to try to score McNeil. See what happens. That's a 0-9. On the choice chart, a 0-9 is the throw to the plate, and he is safe under the tag. So the Mets take the lead. Rosario is going to go to third. Single. Oh, wait. Got to undo that. Let's try it again. A single. What happens to the runner on second? He scores. Runner on first goes to third. And J.D. Davis comes up huge. Gives the Mets a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 8th against Touki Toussaint. And now it's Jacob deGrom. And we're going to see a pinch hitter for Jacob deGrom. And the pinch hitter is going to be Dom Smith, if I can find him. There he is. Dom Smith. Oh. So DeGrom is in line to win this game if the Mets can hold it, which is doubtful because once they bring in Edwin Diaz, they're cooked. Hey, Alan Shaw, how are you, brother? Now compare. I don't know. Do you use iScore? Compare iScore to. Even though I'll be honest with you, Alan. I'm really liking Ball Score just because it keeps all the stats for you, keeps your record for you. That's stuff that iScore unfortunately doesn't do. If it did, this would be premium stuff, man. This would be worth paying for if it kept all that information. Like it kept hitting streaks and it kept all that information. That would be great. But it doesn't do that, so that's the reality. All right, but it's much easier to deal with and to handle, much smoother. And it's a free app. You can, pick it up and use it, and it gives you the nice colored field. It brings like the ball game to life. You see your lineups on the left here. You see all your players in the field. You got a scoreboard on top. Let me see. You can't really see that. Let me see if I can move the camera up just a little bit for you to see the scoreboard on top. There you go. See the scoreboard? There you go. Yeah, it has all those bells and whistles. So it's Dom Smith going to face Touki Toussaint. Now, the Mets have scored 2 runs here in the top of the 8th. They've taken a 2-1 lead. Mets have 10 hits against the Braves, 3 hits. This is the 4th game of a obviously 4-game series, and the Mets are up 2-1. So if they can win this game, they will take the series 3-1. All right, so it's Touki Toussaint going to face Dominic Smith. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. J.D. Davis takes his lead off first, and Ahmed Rosario on third. Here's the pitch. It's a 31 off of Dominic Smith, and that's defense. I have to roll on the defensive chart. And we're going to do that right now. A 88 is going to be a range check for the center fielder. Center fielder, I think, is Ender Inciarte. He should be okay. He should be pretty good, but I'm not sure. I mean, I know he's known for his defense, but yeah, he's pretty good on these cards. He's rated a 4, so an 88 on a 4 is probably going to be a catch, and it is. He runs it down for out number 3. Ender Inciarte with a nice catch in center field, showing off his leather. And now we are going to get a new pitcher. In the bottom of the 8th, it's going to be Paul Sewald. So Sewald's coming in. This is the first time he's on the roster, so I have to write him in. I checked the daily box scores to see who are the new guys on the roster. So Paul Sewald, he only pitched, I think, 19 games for the Mets. He's a right-handed pitcher. He had a 4.58 ERA. In 17 games. But I use those guys with the high ERA because at the time that this game was being played, they didn't know these guys were going to suck. Otherwise, they wouldn't have them on the mound. They wouldn't have them on the team. So that just is how it turns out. And I don't have that crystal ball. So it's going to be Tyler Flowers, then the pitcher spot, and then the top of the order, Ozzie Albies. So Paul Sewald has his work cut out for him. These are all hitters pretty much. And I'm sure they'll bring up maybe a Charlie Culberson or somebody to that effect. Let me see if they have a lefty pinch hitter. Culberson is a righty specialist. Matt Joyce is a lefty. So they'll probably bring in Culberson or Joyce depending on what the Mets do. All right, here goes. Here's the pitch to Tyler Flowers. And that's a 33, and that's going to be a strikeout. Flowers goes after the high cheese and strikes out. All right, so we need a pinch hitter, and it's a righty, so we're going to bring in Joyce. Matt Joyce is going to bat. Matt Joyce batted .295 with 7 home runs and 238 plate appearances. He's 34 years old. He's a lefty specialist. If Paul Sewald were a righty specialist, he would get a big advantage. But he's not a righty specialist. That's the only Doesn't happen all the time. That's how Deep Drive simulates the splits advantages. All right, so here goes. Nobody's on, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th. Mets are up 2-1. 92. That's going to be off Sewell's card. What kind of an out? You look at the 9 modifier die, and that's going to be a fly ball center field, right at Nimmo, who barely has to move. So he hit it on the screws, or right at Nimmo. And now with the switch hitter, Albies batting from the. He should be a switch hitter batting from the left side. I do not know why Albies. Because he's not a switch hitter. And that's not going to change this time. It's going to change next time. Oh, he does change automatically. Okay, cool. All right, Sewald facing Albies. 2 outs. 0-7. That's going to be a deep drive. That's trouble. That's hit way back. Let's see how far it goes. So now we roll again. It's a 35 on Albies' card. That's going to be a ball that hits off the top of the wall. Around second is Albies trying for third. Here's the throw, and he is safe with a triple. A 2-out triple for Albies against Sewald. So he holds up at third, and it's Josh Donaldson. So let's see what happens. See if Paul Sewald can get out of trouble. I do not know. All right, so Albies is at third. There's 2 outs. At the bottom of the 8th, the Mets are up 2-1. Tying run is 90 feet away, and it's Josh Donaldson stepping in the box. Paul Sewald on the mound for the Mets, looking in for the sign from Wilson Ramos. He sets and he deals. And that's a 95, and that's going to be a ground ball hit hard right at Cano. Cano throws him out, and that retires the side. 4-3. All right, so in the top of the 9th, they still got Tukey in there. Let's see. And it's going to be the pitcher spot. Oh, no, pitcher already. There was a pinch hitter for the pitcher. Okay, that's why. Yeah, so it's going to be Brandon Nimmo, top of the order, leading it off. They got a lefty, righty, lefty. Lefty, righty, lefty. You know what? We're going to bring in another pitcher, A.J. Minter. Should have him on top here. I already know this team because we played them like last week. So A.J. Minter is right here, and he is a lefty specialist. He will be facing the lefties, and he will have a 50-point advantage. I'll show you how that works if anybody gets a hit. All right, it's 25. We're not going to have to use it there. Nimmo strikes out. High Cheese gets a Nimmo. Oh, wait. Let me undo that because I never put in A.J. Minter. See how easy it is to make a correction? There he is. Done. And then you just, what was that? High Cheese. Strikeout. All right, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso, if he were a righty specialist, would get an advantage. I mean, I'll double check that. Let's see. A batter advantage. If left-handed specialist faces a right-handed specialist batter faces a right-handed specialist pitcher, or a right-handed specialist batter faces a left-handed specialist pitcher. So none of those is in effect. They both have to be specialists and the opposite for the batter to get it. All right, so here's the pitch to Pete Alonso with 1 out, top of the 9th. Mets are up 2-1. That's a 33, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Pete Alonso fans, and it's Robbie Cano. Robbie Cano's 0 for 4, flied out into a fielder's choice, grounded out, and flied out. And that's a 55, and that's a line drive base hit to right field. Nick Markakis plays it on a hop, gets it into Ozzie Albies at second base. And Cano's on at first with a single. Next is, we'd like to get a pinch runner. I'd like to see a pinch runner here with 2 outs. I believe Guillorme's in there. Guillorme's average, but so is Cano, so I don't see any advantage. Nobody, they don't have anybody. Oh, Lagares is very fast. You know what? We're going to bring in Lagares. I believe Lagares is on the team at this point. Let me double check real quick because I know he gets injured very often. Let me just take a quick peek at a couple of the Mets Oh, you know what? Broxton. Broxton is definitely on the team. Because he eventually gets cut, but I don't remember him going down at all. So Broxton's going to come in to pinch run, and he's very fast. That's the guy you want on there. Pinch run, Broxton. Where's Broxton? There he is. Include defensive sub? No. All right, so Broxton is running for Cano with 2 outs. And we may even try to steal. He's a +3. Let's see what your catcher, Tyler Flowers, is no arm quality. So it's a +3 to Broxton's 4. So it's a 7C. And we're going to look at the steal chart. And it's right here. Steal. Jesus, where is the steal? Ah, found it. Okay. Stolen base chart is right here. I'm going to roll. And that's a 2. And it says, oh, wait, but no, wait a second. I'm doing this wrong. He's a 7. What did we say? He was a 4, and then 3 is a 7. So he's a 7. So he's a 7 and a C. Okay, I got to roll 2 dice. 0 to 41, he's safe. 42 to 66, he's out. All right, so I got to roll 2 dice, not 1. I don't know why I thought it was 1. All right, here goes. That's a 32, and he's going to be safe. Stolen base for Broxton. He can fly. And Michael Conforto trying to give the Mets that crucial insurance run. The Mets are up 2-1 here in the top of the 9th with 2 outs. A.J. Minter, left-hander, on the mound, facing Conforto. Here's the pitch, and that's a 22. A 22 is strike 3. Conforto goes down swinging to retire the side. So the Mets strand the runner at second, Broxton. And coming in to, let's see what kind of, wait a second. So that was Cano. So I'm going to put McNeil. Broxton is going to go to left. Let's see. Broxton is going to become my left fielder. There he is. And my second baseman is going to be McNeil. Okay, that's it. McNeil's the second. Broxton's in left. And it's going to be Freddie Freeman. And here comes the Mets cross the bear. Edwin Diaz. All right. Edwin Diaz is coming in to pitch for the Mets. I am not happy about that, but there's an actual Cano. Wait, you know what? I forgot to do the 50 point on Cano. Now I'm thinking, oh man. Let me see what that would have done on Cano's card. Got to go back. Hold on. Let me retrace my steps here. Yeah, it wasn't going to work because I believe it was a 54 re-roll. And if we go down, it would become a 4, and it would become like a deep drive or the same thing. So in that case, with that roll, it didn't help much. So I don't have to worry about it. All right, so Freddie Freeman is going to face Edwin Diaz. So let's get Diaz in there. Now, Diaz had a nightmare of a season. He had a 5.59 ERA in 66 games with a 1.38 whip and allowed a ton of home runs in the 9th inning. So he blew a bunch of saves. He was a nightmare. And he's on the mound for the Mets. There's actually a penalty if I don't bring him in and I try to bring in somebody else, like who's better, like a Lugo. You got to bring in your closer. That way you can't game the system. So I like that. All right, so Freddie Freeman is the batter. Mr. Moley, how are you, man? Good to see you. All right, it's a 65 off Edwin's card. That's ball 4. So Freddie Freeman walks here in the bottom of the 9th. Mets are up 2-1. And now it's Ronnie Acuna with Freeman on at first. And that's a 39. And that's going to be off of Acuna. That's going to be an out of some kind. An out 1 is a pop-up to the right side. And second baseman McNeil calls for it. Makes the catch. McNeil's in there. He replaced Cano, who was run for in the top of the 9th. So McNeil started off in left field. He can play left field, right field, third base, and second base for the Mets. The flying squirrel, Jeff McNeil, at second base. All right, so there's one out now. Nick Markakis steps in the box. He's a left-handed batter. He batted .285 with 9 home runs in 2019. Mets are up 2-1, and Edwin Diaz looks in for the sign. That's a 92, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Diaz blows one by Nick Markakis, and that's out number 2. So we are 1 out away from winning this ball game. Let's see what happens. The switch hitter Camargo, batting from the left side, steps in the box. And Edwin Diaz looks in for the sign. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Mets are 1 out away from winning this ball game. And that's a 33 off Camargo's card, and that's going to be in the out range. A 0 is lined and caught by the shortstop. And that's the ball game, folks. The Mets pull it out with 2 runs in the top of the 8th. And the line score, 2 runs. Mets, 2 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. They take the series. They left 11 men on base. The Braves, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. So DeGrom is actually going to qualify for the win, which is unusual for him. He always pitches amazingly and never qualifies for the win. But in this case, he will qualify for the win. So let's finish this out. Mets take the series. I got to write in who wins the game, kind of like how you'd have to do in ball score. Now I'm thinking of replaying the season on ball score now instead of here. Even though I really like this, it doesn't have the extra keep track of like all the stats. You see the batting averages. It tells you he hit his 3rd home run or 2nd home run in the box score. It gives you a lot of information. Now it's more clunky to use. So DeGrom is going to get a win. A save is going to go to Diaz. I could find out all this information, but I would have to look them up. A hold is going to go to Sewald. And on the losing side, it's going to be Julio Teheran, I believe. You know what? I'm not sure. Let me go to the Mets scorebook and see. Why is that all like that? Wait a second. That's weird. Never seen that happen before. So, okay, it wasn't. No, it's going to be the first. He tied it. The 3rd pitcher gave up the run. So it's 1, 2, 3. The 3rd pitcher is the one who takes the loss. And that's 1, 2. Jesse Biddle is going to take the loss. So he loses it, and that's the ball game. I'm going to email myself the box score. And that's going to be it, guys. And they play a series now, I believe, against St. Louis, and I have the cards. I believe they play a series against Philadelphia. Mets play Philadelphia, and I believe it's a 3-game series. Next game, yep, it's at Philly. So the Mets are going to play, I believe, 3 games at Philly, and I'll tell you who the starting pitchers are. It's going to be Noah Syndergaard, and he's going to go up against Aaron Nola. So it's going to be a good ball game. I'm going to set this up, and I will be back with more deep drive baseball after I come back from the gym. Take care, guys.